biggest feature in ClickBank history since one-click upsells is live in your account right now, and you want to know what it is. Ashley, what is it? What is it? Give it to me. CPA. Let's go. Let's learn how to use it. Ashley's going to dive us right through it. Let's check it out. Well, thank you for joining me, Ashley. Super excited to have you on Affiliated. I know you've been working on this for a long time.
Yes. Yeah. About a year, actually.
Yes. Awesome. Can you just break it down for me? What to you is CPA when we're talking about CPA and ClickBank and just in the rest of the affiliate marketing space?
Sure. Yeah, it's not an accountant. What we're talking about when we're talking about CPA is cost per action. So the ability to pay a flat commission amount for a particular action. And out in the universe, there's all different kinds of CPA. There's CPL per lead. There's CPM. 1,000 impressions, right? Like there's different types out there, but when we're talking about CPA, we're talking about cost per sale.
Gotcha. So you're paying a fixed amount for an action, in this case, a sale on ClickBank.
Yep.
And then, so break it down a bit. How is that different than the way ClickBank's been operating for the last quarter of a century?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes someone feel old.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the model that we've had from the beginning of time is a revenue share model. So the vendor is selling the product. The affiliate gets paid a portion of the vendor's earnings for promoting that product. And vendors have been able to set customized commissions for those affiliates in that model. But it's always been, I want to pay them X% of what I'm earning. And now we're talking about paying the affiliate a fixed dollar amount for the initial sale in their funnel.
Gotcha. And I imagine the big difference there too is that post-sale with revenue sharing, there's some clawback built in for affiliates and vendors, right? They share that risk. Is that the way to put it, kind of thing?
Yeah. I think a good way to put that is they both have skin in the game, right? Mm-hmm. You share the revenue, but you also share the debit from any returns that happen.
Right, because if I have an affiliate earning commission on a rev share and a refund happens on a sale that I earn commission on, that would get pulled back out of my account for the reflective amount that I was paid, right?
Yeah, you would be debited for basically the same amount that you earned on the transaction.
Yeah, so it's one-to-one essentially, right?
It is.
And then the difference we're talking about with CPS, CPA, kind of whether we're phrasing it, is that the affiliate now just gets paid a flat amount and the full percentage of the refund, for example, falls on the seller or the vendor?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the way it works is the affiliate is not debited at all. And then to pay the customer back the amount that they paid on the transaction, we give back the taxes, we give back the ClickBank portion from the sale, and then the vendor is debited for the remaining amount.
Gotcha. And then the affiliate just gets their commission.
They just get their commission. Yeah.
Awesome. I imagine media buyers will be excited for that. Yeah.
They should be very excited. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Why, just in your own words, why is this such a big deal for ClickBank to be getting into?
Well, I think that it's really to accommodate the biggest affiliates out there, right? If you are a big media buyer and you have this heavy ad spend that you're trying to manage, you want to immediately know if you're going to be profitable on your ad spend. And when it's on a revenue share model, you can still get there, but it's much more difficult because the burden of the math is on you. You have to figure out, okay, what is my earnings per conversion after all these refunds and chargebacks take place.
And a variable percentage, because some people might take an upsell, some might not, right? So you've got this changing initial commission even.
Absolutely. Right? And each vendor has different patterns for that. You have some that get their returns almost immediately after the sale. You have some that are 30 to 60 days later. So when you're trying to figure out what's the right time range to look at, how frequently do I need to monitor this, it can be a burden for sure. So I think the big deal is we're taking the burden of the math, putting it on the vendor to make sure that they're profitable on their side. But the cool thing about it is ClickBank has all the data to make that math easy, because we're a single solution that has affiliate tracking and and handles the payments. So we're actually in a really cool position to make this an easy experience.
I love that. So that's a good segue into like how does CPA typically work if you're looking at like a CPA network, right? Yep. And then because I think that's a good baseline if maybe you're a seller you've heard of CPA but you've been on ClickBank or something, you're not really sure. Like how does that typically work if you're going to be offering
a CPA commission?
Yeah, on a CPA network traditionally.
Yeah. So basically you would be in one hand through a seller solution selling your product, and then separately on a network you would set up that offer and set up affiliate tracking through there, and then however you're confirming the conversion. So it's up to you to marry up the math. And there's also things on the affiliate experience that makes that less desirable because they can have their commission scrubbed, right? Like there's this disjointed thing. Tracking can be far from perfect. And the big difference on ClickBank is it's a single experience. Like the thing that everybody loves about ClickBank anyways is that it's affiliate tracking and payments all in one spot. Is that we're doing this perfect attribution tracking and payout. And like on a network, you typically have to pay a deposit. So
that'd be like an escrow. I've heard of people calling that and stuff like that.
Like, and those can be really hefty. Like
because you have to almost like front the network you're working with for the commission you're going to be you almost like fill the bucket up, right? Of the commission you need to pay out
before you've made the money. Right. So if you're a new vendor starting out, that can be really hard because you haven't grown your business to the point that you have enough cash flow to do that. That's another key difference for us is we don't require that because we are paying the affiliate from the sale when the sale happens. So there's no need to deposit anything. We're paying from the proceeds that you make on the fly.
Gotcha. So I imagine you need some historical data so you actually know what some averages are.
We do, yeah. Yeah, we don't just like come up with arbitrary numbers. Yeah. So what we do is we look at an account's history from the last 60 to 90 days to help determine all of that.
Gotcha. So you can see like, okay, so you're not overpaying or something like that. And
yeah.
Wow. So that's huge. So the fact that me as a seller, I don't need to go deposit, 25, 50K or something into a network's just slush fund so they can then pay affiliates out of that. It's going to work from the point of sale is huge. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. And I think it puts these emerging vendors who have a great converting product, who are just starting out, but whose offer would be very attractive to affiliates. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, you can offer them CPA. You can get the benefit from these mega affiliates who require CPA commissions. You could do that on ClickBank.
So something I hear about with CPA networks and people running that is like, we've hit cap, right? I need more cap. Can you talk about that a little bit? And does that apply to what we're talking about on ClickBank now?
Yes and no. And caps are actually something that we're looking at as an enhancement. So what will happen is when a vendor sets a CPA commission on a network, they don't know the affiliates, right? And so they don't know how quality of traffic they are. They don't know what their average order value is going to be from that traffic. And that can be a very scary, risky thing. So what they'll do is set a cap on how many conversions an affiliate can make in a limited period of time so that they can slow them down, let enough time pass that they can know the quality of their traffic and how much the right CPA commission is for that person. So we haven't done that. I'll show you here in a minute. But when you set a CPA commission for an affiliate on ClickBank, you set it for a specific affiliate. So that person is presumed to be known to you. And we haven't put caps in place, although we do plan on offering that. And our plan on making that different is when someone hits their cap, instead of just shutting them off, because that's what happens on a network. If you get capped, your
more sales happen, right? Yeah.
Right. Your link goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
Is that we would still allow commission to be paid, but just on a revenue share basis, because we can do that. So we're planning on it, not necessarily needed immediately because of our implementation, but yeah, another way that we can do it differently.
And I imagine that, there's no, since we're not collecting an escrow essentially, right, there's no cap on maximum sales potentially, so.
No, yeah.
So
someone can scale to the infinite whatever,
right.
And we can handle that because that's what we do.
Because we're doing a perp turn. That's cool. Gosh, okay, so I hope media buyers who are listening to this are going to get excited. Like, oh, wow, okay, so we don't need to wait on the vendor to pay the CPA network to float cap up. We don't need to, if the CPA functionality went away because that vendor did something, right, they just default to a rev share, right, which might be messier for the media buyer, but they're not losing commission.
Right, at least you're getting paid, right? Like that's the thing is like we don't, we care about our affiliates. We don't want, we want them to get paid for their efforts. And the other cool thing about it is I think one of the things that everyone loves about ClickBank is you're going to get paid. Like you're not relying on the vendor to issue the payment, right? So it's that.
I know it's been a workaround on some vendors who want to offer CPA but still transact with ClickBank. We'll put like someone like a 0% rev share tier and then pay them out separately from their own payments from ClickBank. It's kind of this tiered thing. So now we can just cut that out and just pay the affiliate directly.
Yep, we can pay them directly, give them all the benefits of that.
I love that. It sounds like a pretty cool blend of almost rev share, CPA, being able to work together in a way that, I don't know, does anyone else do this?
With both? Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's been very restricted. Like you set up an offer and you can do it as rev share or CPA, but never have you been able to offer both CPA and rev share, without having to set up an additional offer. Like
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, gosh, I think it's a good time. Maybe we can dive into how this actually works in a ClickBank account.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Love to do that.
I'll let you drive this because I'll just be clicking around the wrong places. But if I see anything,
Sounds good.
I'll chime in. But yeah.
All right. So we've put this control where you would probably expect to find it where you're managing your affiliates in your ClickBank account. So you would just click to manage CPA, and that takes you to our new interface for CPA Commissions. And you'll notice it's pretty and blue and lovely. But from here, a vendor can set CPA Commissions for an affiliate, and they can monitor their profitability from that affiliate. So I'll just start by showing how you would set the commission. So as I mentioned, when you set a CPA commission for an affiliate, you provide the nickname of the affiliate that you're setting the commission for. And then we offer two different ways that you can set that. So you can set a single CPA commission that applies to all initial sales. And this would be most useful if you have really one front-end offer or variations of products, but they're really all the same front-end offer. Or even if you have different ones, but they're all about the same value. So if you wanted to just conveniently set a single CPA amount that applies to all that would be how you would do it. And then the other option that we offer is you can set CPA commission by the initial product sold. So like if you have a tactical knife front-end offer and a sleeping bag, those have dramatically different values, and you wouldn't want to set the same CPA amount. So we give you the ability to pick the product that you want to set the CPA for and set an appropriate amount for that. And then the other cool thing about this is if you don't set a CPA for a specific product, it just continues to pay out on revenue share. So you could theoretically have some funnels that are running on CPA and some that are running on revenue share.
For a specific affiliate.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. And so this calculator, can we talk about this a little bit?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
Yeah. So when you go to set a commission amount, it pops up this commission calculator that helps you to answer how much should I pay my affiliate on a CPA basis. And it's probably the coolest thing that we've achieved with this. Like,
Nice.
So what we're doing for this is we're looking at the historical sales to figure out what the value of the order is, the entire order. So the initial sale plus upsells. And then we factor in the costs associated with those transactions. So we're taking out refunds and chargebacks, we're taking out the fees from that. And for physical products, we're taking out cost of goods and the cost of shipping. So at the end of the day, you know how much you can afford to pay the affiliate.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So going into that a bit, so this would limits the wrong word, but right, if you wanted to pay 100%, that's not necessarily 100% of the product price. It might be 100% of after those net.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah. So it's 100% of the payable amount from initial sales and upsells. We haven't included rebills in this initial rollout. That's an enhancement that will be added shortly. But the other cool thing about this is this calculation that it's running is specific. If there are enough historical sales from this specific affiliate, the calculation is based on the sales where that affiliate was the affiliate on the sales. So you can see that like affiliates who have higher upsells and lower return rates, their amount that you can pay them is going to be higher than an affiliate who has higher returns. And then when the CPA commission is set by a specific product, it's also basing the commission or basing the calculation on sales where that item was the initial product sold. So it's very specific to the criteria that you're setting the commission for.
Gotcha. So if I'm an affiliate who hasn't promoted an offer before that has CPA unlocked, can I still get CPA? Or do I have to promote their offers first?
Great question. You don't. So what we do in that situation, if there's not enough historical sales from that affiliate, we just base the calculation on all sales where that product was the initial item sold, right?
Okay.
And then for if it's a new product that you haven't sold before, we base it on all the orders in the account to give you like this average starting point.
Okay.
So no matter what the situation is, if there's not enough history from that affiliate or from that product, as long as the vendor has enough history, then they can set a CPA commission.
And then can you talk, maybe we hit it already, but can you talk about it sounds like there must be some minimum thresholds, because if you're a brand new seller or vendor on ClickBank, you wouldn't have any sales data, right?
Yeah. So we do require that someone has enough history for all of this to work. So they are required to have at least 100 initial sales within the last 60 to 90 days.
And then so you're setting on an affiliate level, setting the dollar amount on an affiliate level. You can set on a per product basis. So you can, if you have unique flows through your account.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And then the other thing I was going to mention about this, so we offer kind of different ways that you can interact with this calculation. So if you're used to thinking in commission as a percentage, because that's the way ClickBank's always done it, like let's say I was paying this affiliate a 75% commission and I wanted to know about what that would be on a CPA basis, I can put in 75 and that would tell me, oh, that's about this much as a $6.15 of the CPA. But, well, that's nice, but I want to do a flat amount. So I'll put in 6. Okay, just so you know, that's 73% of the maximum payable amount you can pay this affiliate.
And that's factoring in upsells, right? But
it does.
Paid on the front end.
Yeah, so it's like day one sales.
Day one sales. Okay, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, that makes sense. Great. So you can put in either a percentage or a flat amount there.
Yep.
Or just drag that slider, it looks like.
Yeah, and basically play with it until you figure out the amount that you want to do. And then once you confirm that, you can set and save.
I imagine this will change over time for a vendor, right? Because if their maximum allowable, let's say it's $15 for a funnel kind of thing, or for their account because of averages and things like that. If they improve their refund rates, if they improve their AOV and things like that, I imagine that would over time change that dollar amount, right? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. we don't really envision this to be a static experience, right? Like that you can update, you can change it at any time based on performance. Because I think that's really like the key thing to having a successful CPA program is setting the right commissions, being able to monitor those commissions and make adjustments. So that's kind of the way that we've built it. You can set the CPA, you can come back later, you can change it. We offer a few different actions that you can take on affiliates once you've set them. You can pause their CPA commission. So if you're if they're going negative or for whatever reason you want to just halt CPA but not delete them entirely, you can just pause them.
And would that just revert to rev share?
It would just revert.
So it's not breaking their link, it's just pausing the set CPA payment.
That's exactly right. So on ClickBank, there's a standard commission that you can offer people. We have commission tiers where you can set custom commission rates for specific affiliates. So it's like standard commission tiers, and then CPA is a level above that. So if someone's going to get CPA, they'll earn that. If they don't, they'll earn the next commission in line.
I see. So I guess, can we just theory craft a use case here real quick? Because like if, let's say I'm not a great affiliate and I'm getting CPA and maybe my refund rates are super high or something like that, and that starts lowering the CPA I can actually earn. Maybe the vendor's still comfortable with me promoting, but now my earnings on the CPA level will come down. Could they then just pause CPA, put me on a higher rev share, and then I'm getting on a rev share basis?
Sure. Yeah. Really, I think it's flexible. However they want to do that, they could either lower the CPA amount, or if they were more comfortable doing it on a rev share, they certainly could. And then the next kind of after you've set these CPA commissions for your affiliates, you can monitor their performance. So we have this reporting that's available.
Data,
yes. A girl's best friend.
There's graphs. Okay, sweet.
Yes. So what this report does is allow someone to check their profitability for each CPA commission that they've set. So I'll kind of walk through the metrics here. So CPO is commission per order. So we are showing how much CPA commission these affiliates have received. Or orders are the conversions, right? So the initial sales. So they can see their commission per order. We show a profit per order. So we are also figuring out what the profit is from the CPA sales. So we're doing something very similar to what we're doing with the calculator, where we're looking at what were the vendor's earnings on these transactions when you take out refunds, chargebacks, fees, and product costs that were associated with those transactions. So end of the day profit. So if your profit per order is positive, you know that you're in the green. If it's negative, you know you're in the red.
Which I guess you might be comfortable with on a blended rate, right? If one affiliate's red, one's green, you're averaging out.
Yeah, I think it's really up to
up to the vendor. Right?
Yeah, to decide on what their comfort level is. If it's a big enough affiliate that they're okay being a little.
This is still just looking at the same day, right? Sales.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. We include rebills in this.
Oh, this is including rebills.
Yeah,
Sweet.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see conversions, the initial sales, the upsells that came from those conversions. We also show an upsell take rate percentage. Oh. So the percentage of initial sales that took at least one upsell. And then the rebills associated with those transactions. And then we show a refund rate and chargeback rate to hopefully give the contextual information of why your profit is what it is for this affiliate. And then, so you can select the affiliate, which will change the graph. And you can see a breakdown of this data for item when that item was the initial product sold. So it's a little bit different than the analytics reporting, where it doesn't tie, it shows you the raw number of sales for those items. And what we're doing here is tying everything back to this initial product. So when you see upsells for this, it doesn't mean that there were upsells of that item. It means that how many upsells were taken after physical one was the initial item sold.
Gotcha. Okay. I could see this being really helpful for those multi-SKU supplement sellers, right, with the 136 bottles and stuff. Because, gosh, I can imagine someone might set let's say an $80 CPA for a funnel, and then if someone's affiliate traffic only, most of them took the one bottle,
yes.
right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would be able to, at a glance, see that from here.
Gotcha. That makes a ton of sense. You think, oh, wow, we're accidentally overpaying way too much this affiliate on a CPA basis because of their traffic is taking it different than our norm. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and really, I think that's all there really is to the UI, that you can monitor and set and change commissions to hopefully have like the very best, most profitable CPA program that you can.
No, it looks simple, looks easy to use. I see there's a search affiliates, going back to the affiliates tab. You can search, because I imagine this could be a pretty long list after a while.
Yeah, so what we do for that is we search for the string in here. So you'll notice there's lots of affiliates with
CPF.
Yep. Need my additional A. So it will pull all the results that contain that, and then you notice that I just set the CPA for our friend Dinosaur. So if I just search for anything that contains that, it will pull that up. So that's the only result that I see. So I can easily find the CPAs that I've set for previous affiliates.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And then what I was looking at, you can pause, duplicate, delete. When you duplicate something, what's the use case for that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So let's say you're a vendor who is setting their CPA commissions by several different products, and you don't want to add each of those products from that drop down every time you set commissions. So what you can do is take this and duplicate that, and then you can set, it's just as if you're setting a new CPA commission, but it's pulling over all of those products, so you don't have to add them again.
Gotcha. So if I set this up for an affiliate and it was all custom for different things, right, different payouts for different products and things like that, didn't want to go through all that again for the next affiliate. Just duplicate, put the different affiliate name in there, and you're off and rolling.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So if you want to offer similar commissions or similar setup, you can do it again without hopefully saving just a little bit of time, little more convenient.
That's cool. Okay. So you said on the, going back to basics here a little bit, the first commission level right now when this is rolled out is on a single day sale, right? Like, I guess the max commission I can set as a vendor to an affiliate is set on the day one sales.
Yeah.
Right?
So the max commission amount is based on the initial product and upsells.
Yep. Okay. So if I was like a trial offer seller, right, and then say my AOV was $17 on a trial, but my rebills are on average, let's say 3 month stick rate, and I've got like a $90 LTV. Yep. I couldn't pay $80 CPA on that yet. I'd pay on the initial. Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
No. That will be coming shortly. So the reason why that restriction exists, like the whole reason that we have that, is we have a fail-safe in this experience where if an account balance goes negative, we turn CPA off and all those affiliates earn revenue share
and
instead.
When you say account balance, you mean like from looking at the seller paycheck reporting, like their rolling balance in there, right?
Yeah. So in the paycheck reporting, it shows like all the statements. So if you were looking at it that way, what it would be is like how much we're holding, right? Yeah. So it includes the withholdings in that calculation, and it's basically like how much money does your account have at any given point, and we don't want that to go negative. That's actually why we released the changes to the withholding process that we did, is we wanted to make sure that that we were doing everything we could to have adequate funds in the account to support CPA. So that's the reason why we didn't immediately put in the calculation for the rebills, because you can potentially like put your account in a negative situation if you're banking on your third rebill to happen, right? Like, so
everyone thinks their stick rate's way better than it usually is, right? Yeah.
It could be, but it's not for everybody. Yeah. So that's why that restriction is there, because we want to protect our clients from going negative. Yeah, that's the worst.
Just some clients who want to pay some very aggressive CPAs without any data to back it up. It's like, maybe get some, let's roll with it first, right?
Maybe this should be a data-powered decision.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
And then, so are you referencing the dynamic withholding there?
Yeah.
Versus, can we talk about that a little bit? Because I think most people are used to, ClickBank holds 10% per pay period for 12 weeks, right? What's changed there, and why is that important for CPA?
Yeah, so it's exactly as you've described, where like whatever the paycheck is going to be, ClickBank has withheld that percent from that paycheck amount, and instead of doing that, what we're doing is looking at that account's historical returns to see what we would actually expect to be needed in the future. And then we look at the transactions that occurred in that statement, like in the current pay period, and do some very cool things. We look at the transactions that have already refunded, because we don't need to hold anything from transactions that have already been refunded. There's
Makes
no,
sense.
there's no.
That checks out.
Yeah, exactly. And then for CPA, we don't withhold anything for CPA commissions from the affiliate, because they're not going to be debited for returns on those. And then we look at the vendor transactions.
Oh, sorry. I was going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
Affiliates' ears might perk up there. So if I'm an affiliate.
Say what?
Yeah. So if I'm an affiliate as well, and I'm making CPA commissions, there's not going to be any holdback on those? There's not going to be any allowance, reserve, whatever you want to call it?
No.
That's dope. So you get 100% of that CPA on the next settlement period.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Because we don't need to. Like we
right.
we understand.
CPA.
Yeah, it's exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So we don't do any withholding on those.
Gosh, you're getting the full commission amount, no reserves held from it, no clawbacks on it.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's going to speed up cash flow for media buyers in a big way.
And the cool thing is if you are earning CPA from some vendors and revenue share on the others, we will correctly withhold the right amount depending on the transactions that you have in that pay period.
Thank you for clarifying, because it's not like there's no holdback for affiliates, right? There's still going to be 10% reserve, or whatever that is, a dynamic, I guess, right?
Yeah, based on what your return rate has been. Yeah.
So it could be as low as 0, right, if you didn't have any returns, but so there still will be reserve held for the rev share commissions you're earning, but for CPA, it's free and clear essentially. And
yep, and then naturally on the vendor side, we withhold more because they're going to be
the full burden, right?
Yeah, so we do that as accurately as possible, even though the math is more complex, because we want it to be as perfect as we can get it, so that payouts are as much as we can do, but at the same time we're still protecting our clients from having negative balances.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love that. Yeah.
And then one of the cool things about that is, because the reserve has always been on the paycheck, whenever you have funds released back, they're held again because they're included in the paycheck. So now another cool thing here is, because we're withholding from the sales, if you have a release come back, it's
a release.
It goes
We're
right.
holding 10% and 10% and 10% indefinitely.
Yeah, it goes straight into the paycheck amount. So the other positive to this is, like, not only is the withholding amount more precise, but payouts for most accounts have gone up.
Both of those are huge. I think, both of those are cool features in their own right, but the blended approach that hits is going to be really impactful, I think.
Yeah.
So who is CPA best for when you're looking at, like, the use case for this?
Well, I think that's a really interesting question, because we have this symbiotic relationship with a vendor and an affiliate, but CPA is really for the affiliate to make their lives easier and with as little math as possible, right? So this is this is for them. But that having that available to those big affiliates is a vendor feature because they get the increase in sales. And I think with the way that we've done this is we've tried to make this, instead of having the burden of math be on the affiliate or have it be on the vendor, having ClickBank be able to relieve that burden and give this low stress CPA experience.
No, I like that a lot. Yeah, because right, there is risk with CPA on a seller side, right? You're taking more onus of the refunds and the chargebacks and stuff on your plate. You're taking all of it, right?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, you can, the lose your shirt metaphor is overused, right? But you can lose your shirt, right? If you're overpaying a CPA or if someone burns you with bad traffic or something.
Yeah. When I was interviewing clients initially, before we went into this project, I can't tell you how many horror stories that I heard from people who got their numbers wrong and went deep in the hole, and it took them months and months, like even years, to recover from that. Because it's so important to get your numbers right.
But so that's where that commission calculator is really important, right?
Yeah, the commission calculator and the profit reporting, so you're not guessing, right? It's not, oh, I hope I'm still okay with this person. It's like, oh no, you're still okay on this person with this commission that you've set. It's not just, oh, my affiliate's green. It's, no, the commission setting is green. This one is red, right? Like it does that.
I see. Yeah. Because then, you can pause, put them back on rev share if you need to have those conversations. What does it look like from the affiliate side if you're getting put on CPA? Is there anything different there?
That's a great question. So we talked about the withholding differences, right? And when they see their commissions pop in, it's going to be flat. They won't see variances depending on. Do you
get notified like you do when you get put on like a commission tier?
So we've built in some email notifications that they receive. So they get one when they're added. They get one if it's ever deleted or paused or turned or resumed. But they also get emails anytime a commission changes. So if a vendor has changed the commission amount, there's no surprises. They immediately...
So you can't be a sneaky vendor and promise a $50 CPA, then bump it down to 45 real quick, right? Yeah.
Wait till sleeping hours and make those adjustments.
No one would do that, no. Yeah.
Not if they want to get promoted.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's... we've done it to keep them aware of their CPA, so they do get notifications around that.
Okay, so any changes that are happening to the settings of the CPA payment they've got, or when they get added, you're getting pinged with your email saying, "Hey." Yep. And as an affiliate, can you see what CPA tiers you're on?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. So we will add a user interface for that so that they can see their commission settings, and we're planning on doing it not just so they can see their CPA from a vendor, but because a vendor can set their commissions for them as revenue share or CPA, that we show what the commission expectations are for every vendor. Like, this is what you're going to get for in a combined way. Okay,
that makes sense. Gosh, yeah, man, I'm excited to see people sink their teeth into this. I think it's going to be a very good thing.
I mean, I hope so. I think we know that this need has been there and has been there for a long time, and I think that we've been able to envision a way that this would work on ClickBank and be better for our users. And we definitely couldn't have done it without the amazing and talented engineers that we have to actually implement this solution. So
I hear you. What's if there's one takeaway you wanted like a vendor to have and then an affiliate to have from this conversation about CPA and ClickBank, what would those be?
The takeaway for the vendor would be, don't be intimidated by CPA. Like, you should set CPA commissions. You should want to do that. That should be because you want to do what's best for the affiliate, right? Because they could have the same net on, like the vendor could at the end of the day have the same paycheck, but there are benefits to the affiliate from offering it on a CPA. So if I wanted them to have a takeaway, it would be, don't be scared of CPA. Set CPA commissions for your affiliates. They're going to love you for it. And for the affiliate, it would be, oh my God, CPA is on ClickBank, right? Like, it's the place with the with the best attribution tracking with like guaranteed payments, and you can get CPA on it. Like it's just, yeah, it's exciting.
I know it's been a long asked for feature from both sides for a long time.
Yeah.
It's I'm sure very chapped that it's coming out here. Yeah.
I hope so.
Awesome. Well, Ashley, thank you so much. Is there any other wrap up questions I should have asked you that I didn't?
I don't know. Thomas, you're really good at this. This is a very thorough conversation. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for bringing us through there. I'm excited for people to get it in their hands, in their accounts, get it working. Yeah, it seems simple enough. Man, you've done all the math. You've done all the hard part for everybody. So just plug in the numbers and let it rip.
That's right. That's
awesome.
Right. Easy peasy.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ashley. Go check out your ClickBank accounts. Get logged in. Get managed CPA. Affiliates, get your vendors on it. Hammer them for it if you want it. And vendors, yeah, don't be scared, like I actually said. It's all data.
It's all data.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, and happy scaling.